Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the show of Development Dialogue Show. Today, inshallah, we will be talking to a prominent leader from the Ugandan Muslim community and brother Imam Kasozi. Imam Kasozi has been an environmentalist and he has done a tremendous work in terms of introducing Islamic farming in Uganda and also mobilizing the Ugandan youth. Imam, most welcome to the show of Iqra TV. And please tell us about Uganda, where it is situated. Many of our viewers may not be very clear about Uganda's position and background of Uganda and the situation of the Muslim community. There are three aspects. Where is Uganda? What are the size of it? What are the Muslim population, etc.?
Thank you very much. As I have been introduced, my name is Imam Kasozi. I am an imam of my local mosque, but I work with Muslim organizations in Uganda, particularly the Uganda Muslim Assembly and the 100 Shilling Foundation. Uganda is a small country in East Africa. And Ugandans are proud to say Uganda is the Pearl of Africa. I'm making a reference to one of the former prime ministers of England who visited it, and when he saw the beauty of the country, he said it was the Pearl of Africa. Churchill, Winston Churchill. So we border Tanzania in the south, Sudan in the north, now South Sudan. In the east we have Kenya. In the west, Congo, or the Democratic Republic of Congo, formerly known as Zaire. And also in the southeast, a small portion, we also border with Rwanda.
Rwanda?
Yes.
I see.
Then in the northeast, we touch briefly on Ethiopia. So that is what Uganda is one of those lucky countries where the equator passes.
Yes.
And therefore Uganda is divided between the northern and the southern hemisphere.
I see.
And the equator crosses Uganda on 2 points. Many people, when they come, they're interested in visiting the equator. If you are in the Kampala, it is actually short, about 50 miles from the capital city. Uganda, generally, you can say, is a religious country with about maybe 98% of the people there believe in either Islam or Christianity. And the Muslim community, the figures vary according to whom you are talking to, because nobody has done a deliberate census to know how many Muslims there are. But if you visited Uganda, quietly you will see a very prominent presence of Islam and Muslims. If you consider the number of mosques available, the number of schools, Muslim schools, and other Muslim institutions. So the government assumes that we are 16%. 16%. CIA puts Muslim population in Uganda at 36%.
36.
And the Muslim community who have not done any formal census, they say they are between 25 to 30%. Therefore, that is it. The population, the total population of Uganda is 34, about 0.9 million according to the last census that was conducted last year in 2014. What do I do in Uganda? As I have told you, I have so many courts. But because we are speaking to Muslim, the Muslim in development, I can say, first of all, I teach at the Islamic University in Uganda, one of the few Islamic universities that are hosted in Africa. There are two, for French-speaking in Niger and English-speaking in East Africa. It is a tremendous institution. It has been there for the last 25 years, and it has improved the education status of Muslims. In Uganda, we have a couple of Muslim organizations. we have the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, which should have been the biggest institution that houses all the other institutions. But it has its problems and challenges like any other Muslim organization elsewhere. And therefore, the community sometimes is divided over the leadership. We also have the Uganda Muslim Assembly. The Uganda Muslim Assembly brings together the Muslim youth particularly, or those who are interested in Muslim youth activities. And it has been in existence for the last 30 years. It works in the field of education, health, advocacy, speaking for the Muslim community in this country, in Uganda. We have Uganda Muslim Students Association, called MUSAU, Muslim Students Association of Uganda. This brings together all the Muslim students, especially in secondary school and university students. It has also been in existence for very many years. I think it was founded in 1968 by the Muslim students who were at the university then, and it has been going on. It covers, I think, most of Uganda, and at various levels, district level, it goes down after the secondary school. We have Mia Mia Foundation, which I have talked about. Mia Mia Foundation is a new organization, or 100 Shilling Foundation, whereby we encourage the Muslim community, Muslim well-wishers, to donate 100 Uganda shillings every day, coming to 36,500 a year, and is approximately maybe $10, or if you put in pounds, at the current rate, it may be about $6 or so. £6 or so. Its major objective is to ignite the Muslim community in areas of education, in areas of health, water and sanitation, sustainability, by encouraging them to do some work like in farming, and also supporting those who are weak, if they are sick, to be treated.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. You have given a comprehensive understanding of what is happening in Uganda, the background. But tell me about the overthrow of Allah's Dr. Idi Amin Dada back in 1979. Did the Muslim community suffer any persecution after that?
Uganda was blessed to have a Muslim president.
Yeah.
A lot has been said about him,
Yes.
the majority of which is wrong. It is just assumptions aimed at damaging him, and especially those that work against, I think, Islam. There is a book that has been written by one Briton, the late Robert Assos. It is about Uganda, and he narrates very many, because he worked from the colonial government, worked in the Obote one regime, and also served in the Amin's regime.
Milton Obote regime.
Yes, he has a, he's based here, and the book is free. They don't even, he wrote this book and said it should not be published until he's dead. When he died, it was published. You can find a copy around. Maybe I may connect you to a Ugandan who lives here who can give you that copy, and then you can read it and find out yourselves. But what I want to say, Amin came to power in 1971 through a military coup. The coup was initiated by army officers, but they eventually saw him as the the person to lead, and he was given, he led Uganda for 8.5 years. But I want to tell you, according to the words of Professor Al-Mazrui, a renowned professor in Africa, he said that Amin raised the Muslims from a very low level where he found them, and he helped them to get education, to be recognized in positions of power, and therefore, when he came, he found a divided Muslim community in Uganda. Each group, we had about 5 groups. The African Muslim community, those people who only, on Friday for them, they observed the Jummah, then and they could not add on dhuhr, because it took a lot of time for people. Our people used to add dhuhr after Jummah, because they thought, according to the madhhab of Imam Shafi, that they needed to be 40 permanent residents of an area in order to have Jummah. So we also had an organization called Uganda Muslim Community, led by the late Prince Badru Kakunguru, which has done a lot of tremendous work. The family of Nuhumbogo, one pillar that history of Islam writes about in Uganda. Then there was also National Association of Advancement of Muslims, called the NAM. There was also Jummah Zuhur, meaning those people who prayed Zuhri after Jummah.
I see.
You see, those were largely the communities around, and Idi Amin united them into one organization, which we all cherish now, the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council.
I see.
So, what did Amin bring to the Muslim community? He empowered them. He gave them some wealth to kick off, and he ensured that they get educated. He also took Uganda to the organization of Islamic Conference.
Oh, I see.
I have talked about the Islamic University where I teach.
Right.
It was his child. In 1974, in a meeting in Lahore, Pakistan, he asked the heads of state that Uganda should host this university, and indeed, this university came to Uganda long after him, but it has come, and we attribute it to him. 2, he united the community into one strong body, the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. 3, he opened doors for the Muslim in the Arab world, and many got education from Sudan, Egypt, Libya, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, of course, Kuwait, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. So his contribution. Then when he was toppled in a war that was led by very many countries, including Tanzania, and some Ugandans who were in exile, Muslims for sure were persecuted. And Professor Abbas is a professor of literature at Al-Khair University, who is a regular visitor to UK, wrote with the Al-Khair University Muslim Association. They went and investigated, and we came out with a small booklet. Was the 1979 war liberation, a Holocaust that was called liberation. So what do we see in that book? Hundreds of Muslims were massacred. Hundreds of Muslims were massacred. Women, children, elderly people.
The invasion.
Etc., etc. Fortunately, I think that work is online. Somebody can easily access it. If you Googled in Uganda Muslim Brothers and Sisters in one of its archives, if you Google in Abesem Wemba, who lives here, and you get in touch with him, you can have that. But I know it is online. And the list and names of those people who were killed, who killed them, why they were killed, is listed. And many of them were buried in one mass grave in a town called Imbarara in southwestern Uganda. Fortunately, Uganda Muslim Assembly, which I work for, founded a school in this hill where they were buried called Shuhada Islamic Secondary School, and is running, teaching both Islam and secular science. So Muslims suffered somehow. But the experiences learned after that suffering have helped Muslims to be stronger, to pursue education, to compete with others favorably, to participate in politics. So to us as a Muslim community, Idi Amin is a hero. To the Western powers, many of whom are not writing the right things, Idi Amin is a bad man. Even they say he ate people, he killed people, but many of the people who are assumed to have been killed by him were killed by those who were against him so that they depopularized him. But he has remained that hero, and we love him, we pray for him, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward him, and we think inshallah he would get those rewards. So that's what I can say about Idi Amin, because he helped Muslims to be in cabinet, which was not possible before him. And since then, they can be very minimal these days, but they are there, and the community is felt. Yes.
I think, brothers and sisters, many people, you may have the Western understanding of Idi Amin, who was the former president of Uganda, who in fact built Ugandan Muslim community, rehabilitated them, provided them with education, connected them with the wider Muslim world. That's a big achievement in its own right. So therefore we can see a balanced picture from Imam Kasozi, an Ugandan, and he has narrated various information from where the characters of Idi Amin is becoming clearer. Nevertheless, Muslim community, as you say, that if a rational, very conservative estimate, will be no less than 20%, maybe between 20 to 30%. Muslims are pursuing education, agriculture, business, and so on. So, brother, in a nutshell, can you tell us, introduce the concept of Islamic farming that is happening in Uganda, and what our audience should do, because Al-Khair Foundation operates in Kenya, and we are thinking to come and work with Uganda, with people like yourself and so on. Tell us briefly about Islamic farming.
Islamic farming in Uganda is spearheaded by two organizations. One, the Uganda Muslim Assembly, which I serve as the national vice chairman, and humanitarian efforts and relief, called Here Uganda, where my colleague Hamid Mugulma is the executive director. How did we come to this? In 2013, we attended a workshop where there was farming God's way, and it was more based on Christian teachings. When we got out of there, we thought we can think about Islamic farming, and we had opportunity to organize a training workshop assisted by, I think, ARC, using work that has been written by Global One, one organization also that I think is based here in UK, led by Dr. Husna, and the book was written. That book today has been translated in Ugandan language and also in the Swahili language in Kenya. So what do we call Islamic farming? Islamic farming is more of the natural farming, using those methods that preserve soil. The methods that include mulching, minimum tillage of soil, early preparation when you want to plant, caring for the crops, and ensuring that the other organisms within the soil that are important in keeping soil fertility are not killed. Therefore, it emphasizes more of natural, we call it smart agriculture, and therefore it looks at soil and land management. It ensures that there is no soil erosion. And I want to tell you, the yields are already out. How I wish I had come with 2 DVDs. One I have already given it to ARC, and people are testifying. Then you could see there the gardens, and then the people who are saying that it has improved their outcome, and it is encouraging people to be conscious of all of the creatures, the plant, and therefore as a result we are hoping success is there. So we would like to thank ARC, Alliance of Religions and Conservation, Global One, and those others that have in one way or another facilitated us. Now, in the very spirit of that work, we are introducing a project called School Garden, where every school will have a model garden, and the children will be trained how to do agriculture, not examinable, but taught. And the school, what is a school? A school brings together 3 people: the pupils, the teaching staff, and the parents who bring children. And we think it will help us to pass over this knowledge. Some schools are already in this project, like Buziga Islamic Theological Institute. It has both primary and second section. They are there. Ali Bun Abu Twalib Islamic Center in Kikoto. Wakatai Muslim Senior Secondary School has already started on that. Then we have Mpiji Umeya, Namsera Umeya. Umeya means Uganda Muslim Education Association. These schools are already practicing this, and I'm telling you, it has a future.
Thank you very much, Imam Kasozi, for such inspiring contribution. Brothers and sisters, you have heard a bit of the history of Uganda and also the Islamic farming and the project that the Imam Kasozi is leading. Inshallah, we look forward to hearing from him more. And today we conclude with the good news that the Islamic farming, conservation agriculture, which will give us more productivity from the soil, is on the march. And we conclude here today and look forward to hearing from you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh wa barakallahu fikum.